December 3, 2025, 10:40 p.m. outside Kharkiv. A single Vilka M crew prepares to launch one of Ukraine's largest guided missile strikes of the war. The target sits 500 kilometers east, Ryazan Air Base, home to Russian Tu-95 nuclear bombers. 4 rockets, 1 launcher, immediate withdrawal. The mission looks routine until it isn't. The launcher sits in a tree-lined depression, thermal netting draped across the 8x8 chassis. Crew of 6, commander, gunner, 2 loaders, driver, and electronic warfare specialists. They've been in position for 40 minutes, waiting for encrypted data from Typhoon Unit, Ukrainian special drone forces operating deep inside Russian territory. The targeting package must be current, must be verified, must be precise. The first missile rolls onto the rail, 800 kilograms, 170-kilogram warhead, designed to punch through reinforced concrete and detonate inside. GPS, GLONASS, hardened inertial navigation, accurate to tens of meters at maximum range. Each round costs roughly $300,000. 4 missiles represent over $1 million, riding on whether this crew survives the next 6 minutes. The autoloader cycles. The crew chief checks the data stream, coordinates locked. Drone footage confirms 3 Tu-95s in hardened hangars, engines cold, refueling equipment staged nearby. High-value targets, strategic bombers capable of launching cruise missiles deep into Ukrainian territory. Normal targeting time is 3 minutes. They have 90 seconds. At 10:41, passive receivers spike across the cabin. The spectrum analyzer lights up. Zoopark M1 counter-battery radar, active 38 kilometers northwest. The Russian system detected the launcher the moment it stopped moving. Zoopark operates like a stopwatch. It tracks outgoing artillery in flight, calculates launch origin, and feeds firing coordinates to BM-30 Smerch batteries in under 30 seconds. The clock is running. The crew chief makes the call. No abort, no displacement. They accelerate the launch sequence. Autoloader rated for 45 seconds per missile. They're pushing 30. First missile ignites at 10:42. The 8x8 chassis rocks back against stabilizers. Flame column rises 200 meters. Position compromised. No time to relocate before firing all 4. They commit. The rocket climbs. Guidance computer activates at 2,000 meters. GPS lock acquired. Flight profile loaded. The missile begins its arc toward Ryazan. In the cabin, the crew is already loading round 2. Hydraulic arms swing the second Vilka onto the rail. Clamps lock. Ignition sequence primed. At 10:43, thermal sensors detect multiple hot plumes to the northwest. BM-30 Smerch launch confirmed. 39 M55 rockets, each carrying fragmentation or thermobaric warheads, now arcing toward their exact grid square. Time to impact, under 3 minutes. The driver starts the engine. They need to fire and move, but the autoloader isn't finished. Second Vilka launches at 10:44:30. The crew is loading the third when Russian fire control tightens. Doppler shift on inbound rockets narrows. The Smerch salvo is correcting mid-flight based on updated thermal signatures. The Russians can see them. They're tracking the heat bloom from each launch. Every second the launcher stays stationary increases probability of kill. 10:45, third missile away. Heat stress warps the launcher rail. Hydraulic pressure drops. Warning lights flash across the control panel. The system is degrading. One more shot, they load the 4th anyway. Audible incoming now, high whistle, descending pitch. 30 seconds to impact. The crew chief slams the ignition override. 4th Vilka fires as the first Smerch rocket detonates 200 meters behind them. The launcher lurches forward, already moving. Explosions bracket empty ground. Thermal netting burns. Trees shatter. The 8x8 accelerates through the tree line, rear tires clipping debris. Driver pushes 70 kilometers per hour on rough terrain. They clear the impact zone by 400 meters. Smoke and fire mark where they stood seconds before. They're gone. 4 Vilkas arc toward Ryazan. Flight time, 13 minutes. It's now a race between missile impact and whether the Smerch barrage obliterated the crew. Lead missile climbs through 80,000 feet, then pitches forward into terminal descent. Onboard computer recalculates guidance 50 times per second. GPS signal strength, nominal. The missile is flying itself. At 10:48, the lead Vilka crosses into Russian airspace. Altitude, 60,000 feet. Velocity, Mach 4. Descent angle, 35 degrees. The warhead is inert until final approach. Safety protocols lock the fuse until altitude drops below 5,000 meters. The guidance computer cross-references GPS coordinates with target data. Course correction, 0.3 degrees west. Adjustment burns fire. The missile refines its trajectory. 10 minutes to target. GPS signal degrades. The Vilka switches to GLONASS. 40 seconds later, GLONASS jams. Russian electronic warfare is flooding the spectrum. The missile transitions to pure inertial navigation. No external updates, only accelerometers and gyroscopes measuring velocity and orientation. It's flying on physics alone. Margin for error, 50 meters at this range. At Ryazan, a Tor M2 battery detects inbound contacts at 1051. 4 high-speed projectiles descending. Range, 45 kilometers. Closure rate, Mach 4. The system was designed specifically to intercept threats like this. The battery commander authorizes engagement. Radar locks. Firing solution calculated. 2 Tor missiles launched toward the lead Vilka. Engagement range, 12 kilometers. Expected outcome, assured kill. Lead Vilka performs a lateral roll at Mach 3. The sudden vector breaks Tor's firing solution. Onboard sensors detected the radar lock. Evasive programming activates. 2 interceptor missiles miss the predicted intercept point by 400 meters. The Vilka executes a second feint, a corkscrew descent that disrupts the killbox geometry. Trailing Vilka, no evasive maneuver, intercepted and destroyed at 11 kilometers. Shrapnel cloud expands. 1 threat eliminated, 3 missiles remain. Tor battery switches to manual targeting mode and fires again while transmitting alert to Panzer S-1 batteries on the base perimeter. Radar tracking shifts to optical backup. Another interceptor launches. 1 Vilka takes fragmentation damage to the guidance assembly, but continues descending. Control surfaces respond sluggishly. The missile compensates with thrust vectoring. Another Vilka is destroyed outright at 7,000 meters. Shrapnel punches through the warhead casing. Detonation at 8,000 feet. Debris rains across farmland southwest of the base. 2 Vilkas remain, both now inside 5 kilometers. Panzer S-1 attempts engagement but struggles with ground clutter, shallow approach angles, and residual jamming from earlier electronic warfare. The missiles enter a blind sector between radar coverage zones. Lead Vilka drops into terrain-masked flight, skimming ridgelines at 400 meters. The second Vilka maintains high-angle approach, drawing defensive fire. 10:54, terminal attack phase. The base is awake. Multiple Russian systems focus every available sensor on the remaining threats. Tor prepares a final intercept window. Panzer splits fire between 2 targets. A ZSU-23-4 Shilka anti-aircraft gun spins up as last-ditch defense. Radar lock struggles against velocity and angle. Firing window, seconds. Personnel evacuate hangars. Alarm systems wail across the flight line. Ground crews abandon equipment. Tu-95 pilots sprint toward shelters. Fire suppression systems activate preemptively. The base commander orders all non-essential personnel to harden bunkers. Emergency broadcast loops on all frequencies. Impact imminent. Tor fires its final salvo. 2 missiles climb toward the high-angle Vilka. Proximity fuse is armed. The interceptors pass within meters but fail to detonate. Fuse timing off by milliseconds. The Vilka continues descending. Panzer engages with cannon fire. 30mm rounds, 2,500 per minute. Tracers stream upward. Hits registered on the second Vilka. Hydraulic fluid vents. Control surface jams. The missile wobbles but doesn't break apart. Inertial guidance holds course. Shilka opens fire at 500 meters. Quad 23mm cannons track the lead Vilka. Radar struggles. Optical targeting takes over. Gunner fires manually. Tracers climb into the night sky. The Vilka descends at 1,200 meters per second. Shilka traverse can't keep pace. Firing solution collapses. The missile passes through the engagement envelope untouched. 10:58. Lead Vilka penetrates the roof of Hangar 3 at supersonic velocity. The warhead detonates inside. Overpressure wave expands through the enclosed space. 2 Tu-95 nuclear bombers disintegrate in the blast. Fuselage sections crumple. Wings shear off. Secondary explosions ripple through stored ordnance. Air-to-ground missiles, guided bombs, fuel reserves. The hangar structure collapses inward. Steel beams buckle. Concrete walls fracture. Smoke column rises 300 meters, visible from 30 kilometers. The damaged second Vilka impacts hangar 8 seconds later. Explosion inside the main bomber shelter. Another Tu-95 destroyed. Shockwave blows out windows across the flight line and damages taxiway infrastructure. Fuel lines rupture. Fire spreads to adjacent maintenance buildings. Emergency response teams deploy, but the damage is catastrophic. 23 strategic bombers destroyed or rendered inoperable. Estimated repair time, months. Estimated replacement cost, incalculable. 2 Tu-95 strategic bombers confirmed destroyed. Russian long-range strike capability reduced. The Kremlin loses leverage in ongoing negotiations. Peace talks shift. The Vilka M crew, last confirmed 40 kilometers from their original firing position, survives. They transmit mission success at 11:02. Launcher damaged but mobile. 0 casualties. They drive through the night toward a secondary rally point. Thermal signatures masked by terrain and weather. At Ryazan, fires burn through the morning. Satellite imagery confirms the strike. Hangar 3, total loss. Hangar 1, structural collapse. Tu-95 tail sections visible in the debris. Russian Ministry of Defense releases no official statement. Ukrainian General Staff releases drone footage at dawn. The images speak for themselves. The strike reverberates beyond Ryazan. Russian air defense networks undergo immediate reassessment. Tor-M2 engagement protocols are revised. Pantsir positioning at strategic bases is reconfigured. The failure exposes gaps in layered defense architecture. Ukrainian intelligence intercepts Russian military communications, discussing the incident for 72 hours afterward. Recriminations, system audits, personnel reassignments. Western intelligence agencies analyze the strike within hours. Satellite passes confirm blast patterns consistent with 170-kilogram warheads. Thermal signatures match Vilka M propulsion profiles. The evasive maneuvers, lateral rolls, corkscrew descents, terrain masking indicate sophisticated guidance algorithms. This isn't crude ballistic artillery, this is precision strike capability approaching Western standards. Ukrainian defense industry celebrates quietly. Vilka M performed beyond specification. Survival rate 50% against concentrated air defense. 2 impacts out of 4 launches. Strategic targets destroyed. The system proves viable. Production orders increase. NATO observers request technical briefings. The missile transitions from experimental platform to operational weapon system. At the Kharkiv launcher site, forensic teams sweep the impact zone at dawn. Smerch craters measure 8 meters across. Fragmentation patterns indicate 30 rockets detonated within a 400-meter grid. Trees stripped to stumps. Ground scorched black. The Vilka crew missed death by seconds and 400 meters. They leave nothing behind. Thermal netting fragments, hydraulic fluid stains, tire tracks heading northwest. The site is abandoned by 11:30 p.m., minutes after the strike. Russian reconstruction efforts at Ryazan begin December 5th. Heavy equipment clears debris from Hangar 3. The structure is unsalvageable. Hangar 1 requires complete roof replacement and structural reinforcement. Tu-95 wreckage is cataloged and removed. Investigators photograph blast patterns, warhead fragments, guidance components. The remains confirm Ukrainian origin. The Kremlin's public silence continues. Admitting the loss means admitting vulnerability. Ukrainian President's office releases a statement December 6th. No direct acknowledgement of the strike. The wording is careful. Strategic defense operations continue. Long-range capability operational. The message is clear without confirmation. Russian Ministry of Defense responds with generic statements about air defense effectiveness. Neither side wants full disclosure. Both sides understand what happened. The Vilka M crew receives commendations in a closed ceremony. No media, no public recognition. The commander is promoted. The crew rotates to training duty for 2 weeks, then returns to operational status. New missions are already planned, new targets identified. The war continues, mission complete.